We're talking a modern office chair from IKEA, not some sofa I purchased from an antique store with blood scratches along the back. No, this thing is bright blue with wheels, for God's sake. In the light of day, it couldn't be more unremarkable, to the point that I'm sitting on it as I type this. That's part of the problem. I guess I should give you some background, mundane as it is. One fine summer morning, I drove down to the nearest IKEA, tried out a couple of chairs, picked one, and dragged the box home to attempt putting it together. Now, I'll admit that if it was at some point in this process that the chair became demented, it was probably during that ordeal. I lost a wheel, put the back on wrong way round, and messed up an arm so badly it hasn't stopped wobbling even 3 years later. That's the arm on the chair, not mine. But hey, it ended up functional enough, albeit with a wooden block in place of one of the wheels. It served its purpose admirably, and that I forgot about it completely for the remainder of the day. Come 6 p.m., I tucked it snugly in the desk and left to get dinner with a few friends. Well, past midnight, I stumbled back into my room, thoroughly drunk, and conked out on my bed. So far so good. At some point in the night, my bladder woke me up, as it will do when you've ingested about a gallon of liquor. The moment I was conscious enough to register my surroundings, a feeling of absolute dread took over. Like, you know those stories of people who wake up inexplicably in the middle of the night to discover the gas was left on, or that someone's broke in. That was the way it felt like. Lizard-brainy certainty that something was very wrong. I sniffed for a gas leak or smoke. Nothing. I held my breath until I was woozy of air, listening for signs of someone else in my apartment. Nothing. I must have sat there for 10 minutes straight, trying to suss out the source of my mounting anxiety. And that's saying something, considering I felt like an overfilled water balloon with a hangover. Eventually, I had to get up and tiptoe. Yes, frickin' tiptoe to my bathroom. After which I sprinted back to my bedroom and attempted to jump under the blankets immediately. I say attempted, because as I stood there in the doorway with the view of the whole room, I knew precisely what was wrong with it. The chair. It hadn't moved or anything. It was still sitting inoffensively right where I left it. But the idea that it was meant to be somewhere else hit me with a certainty that I could neither reason with nor ignore. I didn't quite know how it was meant to be though, so I went over and started turning it experimentally, left and right. I didn't even realize it was facing the mirror when it was finally satisfied. The feeling of relief, just as intense as the anxiety from before, was enough to send me shuffling to bed without another thought. That's how things were for the next 3 years. Every night I'd brush my teeth, take a shower, and turn the chair towards the mirror before going to bed. Now, I assume at this point people will assume I'm either very dense or blowing the events of that night way out of proportion. Here's your explanation. I have OCD. It is logical to feel compelled to turn your chair in a specific direction every night. No. But it's no less ridiculous than needing to click your pen 15 times before you use it, or tap your refrigerator door 50 times after dinner, or tap your hands together 5 times whenever you hear a specific word, or, look, you get the picture. It was just one more thing to add to an ever-growing daily itinerary. I won't lie. Some of my compulsions have felt something like the panic I've described. At the time, I even went over my daily routine in my head to make sure I hadn't missed any, but at no point have I ever felt that I was in immediate mortal danger. For a while, I assumed my OCD had just gotten worse. I've had flare-ups at different points of my life. I resigned myself to riding out another one. Had the status quo remained, I wouldn't be posting this now. The latest development in the chair saga is unusual enough that I can't explain it away as a symptom of my rocky mental health status. I've begun to miss the thing, not the sort of nostalgia you usually have for home when you've been away. I found myself cutting trips short, leaving my part-time job early, cleaning off dinner plates, all to come back and sit in my chair. It was subtle at first. I thought I was just tired and wanted a cup of tea. I had something I needed to finish. I had an overwhelming desire to sit in my beloved chair and stare out into space for an indefinite period of time. On the nights that I do stay out late, I feel like a neglectful girlfriend and have to fight the urge to shuffle into bed, avoiding eye contact with the disapproving bit of furniture. I hope I don't need to state that. This is not what my OCD feels like, or has ever felt like. At no point have I tried to establish a friendship with my fridge, for example. It's an entirely alien sensation, and one that keeps intensifying every day. Already, I think I've become incapable of taking the chair back. I know if I ever did get rid of it, I'd feel like I tossed a cherished family pet into the wood chipper. No, I'd go back for it. I'm sure of that. I can't let it go. Before anyone asks, no, it's not sexual. I don't want to do anything in the chair other than sit in it. Or maybe no one was going to ask that. I didn't think of it though. A few horrified hours of Googling later knew enough to rule out the possibility. I also know a lot more about objectophilia than I have ever wanted to. Does someone have any clue what I should do now? Please don't suggest that I get rid of the chair. I truly can't. No, I haven't tried. I feel too guilty just considering it. I'm beginning to worry that this unwillingness to leave it behind will either end in me never leaving my apartment or in bringing it out with me wherever I go. Both situations I'd like to avoid. Thank you all for listening to The Chair in My Bedroom Needs to Face the Mirror at Night by Throwaway Chair. If you enjoyed this story, please leave a like. And if you enjoy hearing stories from me, please subscribe and become a resident of Hill Street and let me know how I'm doing in the comments. And I hope all of you have a fantastic night.